Hello everyone. How is everyone today? It's 12 o'clock. It's lunchtime, but I made myself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and had one of those before I came up. I'm in an event today with Craft Round the Clock. It is a candle event. It's a special event. It's the first one that I've done so far. So I'm a minute early and I'm just waiting for Tracy to get on and share me into the group, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do. I've been watching some of the creators. Hi, Tracy. I've been watching some of the creators, and they're a little bit more elaborate than I am, but I'm going to paint something, and it's on a candle, so let's see if I'm in the group. Okay, there I am. So I'm going to go in so I can see comments. And okay, I'm going to put you down and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So I got to turn you upside down here for now. Okay, so this is a candle that I got at Target, and I got it a couple years ago. It was in their bargain bin. It's plastic, and I did put some batteries in it. I have this taped so that you cannot, I wanted to make sure it worked too, so I don't get paint on it. But I'm going to make this a Halloween candle. I thought it would be kind of unique to paint this green and have the wax be his hair. So it's a Frankenstein. And what I did to prepare it is I have this Dixie Belle slick stick. And I coated that last night with this. Well, then when I came in here today, I seen the seam was in the middle of it, but I tried to sand it, and then I took the stuff off, so I touched that up, dried it, and when I went to the other side, it has the seam also. And this is really not enough space, and either is this to do a face. So we're going to try and make this side work here. So the Slick Stick is a product that when you put it on, and you can put on 1, 2, 3 coats, however many you want, onto a slick surface, it makes the paint adhere to it. And you need to let it dry for about 24 hours. We have about 12 hours of drying on here because I did it at about 11 last night. So I went online. I wanted to tell you, I went online to Dixie Belle to get some more because this is almost gone. My slick stick is almost gone. So they don't have the product called Slick Stick anymore. The new product is Bonding Boss. So if you're, hi Barb, hi Sue, hi Talisa. So if you're interested in getting a bonding agent that you just paint on to have the paint stick to it, and you want to use Dixie Belle, it is called Bonding Boss now. So, all right, let's start painting this. I have 45 minutes today. So we're going to start base coating. I don't know how easy this is going to go on, how many coats I'll need. It looks like I might need a couple. And I don't care if I get the green on the hair because that's all going to be painted black. I'm not going to really concentrate on that until I get to the hair. Then I'll do the hair in black, and that will be where I'll come in with my fine lines and stuff. And I kind of drew the eyes on and the nose, just kind of so I would know where I was going to put those things. And I'm just going to go light over that so I can still see it. And the eyes are white circles. So I'm going to try not to get too much paint into those, but I will have to paint over those also. So this is going to take several coats, which is fine. I'm using Hauser Light Green. I should have did some base coating before I started, but I wanted you to see the before and after candle. And I'm using kind of a soft brush. And the thing is I don't want to get the first coat on too thick because I want it to dry real good in between coats. Because we have painting on top of it we're going to do, and we're going to use a little water. And I don't want to disturb the paint underneath too much. Hi, Mary. Well, hello, Addie. Are you in Florida now, dear? What's the temperature down there? My granddaughter and daughter-in-law left last night to go down to Orlando. She and her dance team are performing at Disney sometime this week. They're going to be down there for a week. So, and I'm going to start on the second coat because it looks like it's pretty dry. And see, it's already covering pretty nice. We'll probably have to draw the eyes and nose in again, which is fine. I just wanted to see where it fit. And I used a circle stencil to draw the circle of the eyes so that they were a little even. And the nose I drew by hand, but we can use a chalk pencil then too, so it'll come off. I just kind of wanted to see where that would fit. And usually when I paint on plastic or metal or anything, I like to let it dry between coats, you know, a couple hours at least. So I'll like base coat or base the part in, and then I will let it sit and work on something else. But we're in a little bit of a hurry today, so I can at least get the majority of it in. I thought about doing that grunging. I bought some candles and I thought about doing that on them. And I went down to get my coffee to make the recipe, and I did not have any instant coffee. I don't know what I did with it. I probably threw it away because I thought it was getting old. And it was before I would experiment with that. So one thing about being in this group has taught me different avenues. And the grunging, I've never really done that since the early 80s. Okay, I think it needs one more coat because it is kind of see-through in some spots. Yes, I know. I didn't do it very long. I know it does the same thing with stencils. I was doing an ornament that I was painting, and it was plastic, and I used the heat gun and it melted it. It was in a class. It was in our class that we were doing, Barb. Hi, Janet. Oh, it's 79 in Florida this morning or this afternoon. That's good. Are you guys in a hotel or are you in a house? I didn't ask you that before you left. So she's excited. I hope they get a chance to see some stuff down there. They're going to be down there a whole week, so they left last night. It's nice to see them. It's nice to see Addie. I know they made it there safely then. And I'm not going to do the hair until last, but I'll try and get to some of the hair before our time is done so that I just want to look it over. And I can always go back and touch up too. Yeah, that seam is pretty prevalent there. Let's see the other side. This one's a little better. The seam doesn't show as much, so we'll put the face on this side. And we're just going to wait a few minutes for it to dry. But I can show you some of the things I worked on last night while those are drying. Yesterday for my live, we did this ornament here. So I did the other two. Then I did this ornament last night. And I did this one here. And I did this one here. And then I got these base coated. So on these ones here, this has a little Spanish moss you put around here a little bit so it looks like he's sitting in a nest. And I got to highlight that. I got to do some highlighting and stuff, but I glued them together and just set them aside. I might work on these a little bit more today. But that's what I did yesterday. And then I taped all my pieces down on cardboard last night and base coated this. And Barb reminded me not to use that gun on plastic. I'm glad she said something. I would have hate to have had that. I'm going to go low. What side were we going to do? I just like how the top is better on this side. I'm going to just stick with this side. Oh, I'm sorry if I'm out of camera. Hi, Deanne. Yeah, she's got to dance down at Disney a few times now. So her team won the opportunity to go down there during COVID, you know, the year that COVID broke out. And they took that away and didn't have the kids go because they couldn't perform down there at that time because of COVID. So Disney contacted them and they rescheduled it. So yeah, even though it has a ridge there, I'm going to still do this side because just the way the candle goes and you have it sit, I want it to look halfway decent, you know. Okay, so I'm just gonna start painting on this, and I want to take this paint off my hands because if your hands are sticky and you touch this, it pulls the paint off, and we don't want that to happen. And remember, the slick stick I base coated it with is now Bonding Boss. They don't have slick stick anymore. It's Bonding Boss. The other day I advertised some brushes and they didn't sell them, the same ones anymore, on Amazon. So we did have to find a replacement. We got that settled, but they are more expensive. So, and then this pin here is a chalk pin. It's Soline, and it has white, pink, and blue or black writing in it. So I'm gonna stick with the, I'm gonna do white because it's on green. And it comes, you can buy little leads. This is on Amazon for like $8.99 to $13.99. Amazon has this chalk pencil. It's bigger, and this one works good if you're painting a big project. And this just wipes off with water. This is a good one too. Here's what the lead refills look like for this pencil here. It comes with it. And then I also have this. This is a nice one too. Fons and Porter, and this is just white. And this one, no, it's, there it is right there. So those are the 3 different chalk pencils I use. And they do have like stuff like this too that you can use. But then it erases quickly. And let's put this is how I did the eyes. I just used this to get a circle in here, just so I had it round. I want to get that over here. It's very light, but it's enough for me to see, because I do want my eyes to be the right, and this is the nose, and it's just, the nose is just like a gumdrop, you know. And there's the nostrils, and then we'll do the mouth and stuff later. It's just to help me in my it's just to help me in my painting of the shape of it. I'm not real good at just freehand. I do need a little bit of a drawing on there. Otherwise, my stuff gets misshaped. And I'm going to use, I had some sand gray right here on my table. I'm just going to use a little bit of that to put a base coat underneath the eye that I'm going to do white, but this will help so I can cover this fairly easy and not have to put a lot of coats on. And then we can put white over it when it dries. It'll just help a little bit to cover that green. Okay, there's that. We're gonna just let that dry. And I'm gonna go around the outside of the nose to get the shape of the nose, because I'm gonna do some dry brushing on that to get it to the colors that I want it. And I got off most of the water off my brush because I don't want to lift the paint underneath. There's that little imperfection there here. I'm gonna do something different because of the shape of that. It's not working real well for me. I'm gonna outline that. Because it's getting misshaped there, and the nose is so important. It's right on the curve, so, and then I can shade around there. Just to get the shape of that nose in there. There's his little nostrils. Okay. I wish I had a smaller shader. I think I have one, but here's a smaller one. For some reason, I bought this pack. It's a cheaper set, and I don't like the feeling of the bristles of these, but my eyesight here is getting worse and worse every day. I've got to have that cataract surgery. Okay. So I'm going to do some dry brushing on the nose. And then I'm going to shade around the face and stuff. I could probably do a little bit of that right now. Let that nose dry up. I want to shade around the hair. And this is a drip from the candle here, so I don't care if I get the dark on that because I'm going to paint that black. So the shading I'm not that concerned about, because once this is painted black, you'll just see that down there. And it's kind of a odd thing to be shading on. It's kind of slippery, and it's so rounded, you know, it is really curvy. And it's hard to paint on curved wood or surfaces, especially one so curvy as this, because there's not much of a flat shape, you know. And we'll just do it quickly around the back just to get it done. I just thought it was a neat idea. I was gonna paint a snow. I bought 3 of them. I was gonna paint a snowman on them. When you had the surgery, did your eyesight improve a lot, Lulu? I know it will. Everyone's told me it does, but I'm just so afraid to have that surgery done on my eyes. Looks like I got a little ding there. I'll fix that up. And the thing is I will put varnish on here because it's not a real candle, and it won't have any it won't have any heat on it. It'll be fine with varnishing it, and that way it'll keep the paint attached to it also. And I'm going to go around, I got to go back to the small one. I'm going to go around the eyes because before I paint them white, in case I get some of this inside of the circle, then I can just cover that up. And then I don't have anything up here now, but I do have some picks that I can bend to, and they have pumpkins and stuff on it, and I can glue some spiders on it and stuff, and you could, you know, you could almost make it a centerpiece of some sort. Let me grab a drier paper towel because we want to get a real dry paper towel to work on the nose. And I'm just going to use some really soft dry brushes that I have. These are Dynasty 200 series. They are the nicest dry brushes that I have, so, or have used. So he's going to have kind of a little yellow tinge to him. He's going to get some cheeks on there. His mouth will be here. Okay, I only have about 15 minutes left. I guess I just didn't get too much done, did I? I gotta quit talking so much and just keep working, okay? So if you have any questions and I don't answer, I'll try and answer them afterwards if I don't see them now, okay? And this is just a shadow. I'll use some black paint. That's where his mouth is going to go, okay? But I want to put that in so I can keep track of what I'm doing here. That's where that little seam is right there. And that's just kind of like, that's not a mouth opening, that's just a line on his chin. Okay. Leave that like that. And let's baste in his eyes. They will have black in them and stuff, so he won't look this ghoulish. They're not completely round, but that's okay because Frankenstein is pieced together, right? And I'm just using acrylic paints. I'm not using glass paint or anything like that because I use that slick stick on here. These will stay put until I varnish it. Once I varnish it, that's going to lock everything onto here. It's just like when you paint a coffee pot or anything on that order. I'm going to put a little bit of orange on there. I got this. I don't know if these were such a good idea to use on these paints that I use so much. I probably should have went smaller, but I didn't. It's hard to control how much you get out to. And I'm kind of just using the same dry brush because once you get that dry brush wet, you're done. Oh, it's pretty hard to paint on this curve. You know, my arm wants to go like I'm painting on flat, and I gotta keep changing my pressure on my brush because, and how I'm putting it down because it's curved. It's different. I got those cheeks a little too dark, but what I can do is just do that and bring them back to the original color. Now they're not too bad. And it's on the hair, but that's okay because we're just going to paint over that hair, remember? And now I'm going to rinse this out because it's toast. I got too many colors on there. It'll start getting like mud. So, I'm just looking here to see what I need to do. Let's go this way. I'm going to make the eyebrows here. Then we'll put so that's where the eyebrows are going to go. They'll be black on top of that, just a line of black. And I want to give them some stitches across his head here. That'll be a line of stitches. He can have stitches over here. And he can have a set of stitches over here. That kind of comes like that. And what this is the shadow for the stitches. I'll paint over that, but it's just a different way of putting the features in. I'll give him a little bit more shading there. Okay, I think his nose is pretty much done. Okay, let's get a little bit of black paint and we'll do his eyes. I added some water to my black paint because it was getting so thick and I think I put too much in. But I'm going to use a little round brush. It's not a liner, but it is a round. It's just little. So I can get this in here. Okay. There we go. And his eyes don't match, but I can bring this one down a little bit because he is a monster, you know. So that's good enough. And then they'll have a white highlight in there. And I'll do some other stuff to the eyes too, but I need them to dry. So I'll float some color in on the whites and stuff like that, but I can't do that now because if I do, I'll smear the paint. It's got to dry. And we'll curve this a little bit so it isn't so straight. We'll go like this. And I will highlight on these also. I'll put a highlight on each stitch. But once again, those have got to dry. I want to do the mouth so I can get that in at least. I'm just going to come right like that to make those, you know, I might have to do a little bit more just to make it so it's the same width on that other side. And then these are stitches. These aren't as prevalent as the one on his head. Oh, I forgot to do the black line, didn't I? Okay. I want to put the dots in the eyes and stuff so you can see that, but they're not dry. I've only got 4 minutes. Where is this? Is zinc. I'll shade the bottom of the eyes, and then I hope I don't touch the blacks in there. Gotta keep my brush up a little bit. So it just makes the eyes so they're not so white. Okay, and I think I can get some shading or a little bit of the highlighting done on that stitch. Those look like they're drying. And I'm just doing it in orange. They're still pretty wet, but it's just on the stitches. And let's just try and do a little bit of the hair so you can see what that looks like, because I'm going to run out of time here, and I want you to see. I mean, I can post something too, because this is kind of tedious. I want to make sure I get this on correctly. And I mean, this is going to take a while for me to do the hair, but I want to give you just a little bit of taste of what it's going to look like. And I can go back in and shade closer to the white too, to cover up some little whites that are showing through. Okay, I got 2 minutes. Let's just... And I'm using a smaller round brush just so I can control it more. Because of the strong color of the black, I do not want to go where I cannot remove it. I want to keep control of what I'm doing. And I will paint the inside of the candle here black also. And I'll take some dry brushing like I did on that nose, and I'll put that on the hair. But I have 1 minute left, so I'm going to put the camera up so you can see what it looks like up. And this is how far we got with that. And it'll have white dots in the eyes, and then I will do like a highlight in the eye too. But it's what am I doing here? It's a cute little decoration, and we'll put a ring around it for, you know, to put on a little table or something. And I'll finish that today and I'll post a picture so you can see it. I'll put it on my page, and I will also put it on Craft Round the Clock. Thank you, Tracy, for everything you've done today. Thanks for the great group. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. It's just Colleen Tepper from a couple of Tra-La-Las. Thank you for watching. See you soon.